All right, hi everybody. I'm going to start from scratch because I've learned some things that I think are really important to share. And let me share then how I'm using Davinci Resolve to take a lecture that I did in class and turn it into an illustrated video. And what I did, I took, let me import here a second, import media. This is the edit screen, and there we are, the meeting. This is a meeting that was taken by the camera in the classroom. And there it is. And let me drop it into the, where did my video go? That's weird. I think we'd see video, and we're not seeing video. Okay, let me delete that then. Something went wrong. So video, I need to bring this down maybe. And let's see if I drag this in here. Why am I not getting any video? That is so bizarre. Okay. It's here, obviously, and yet it won't show up in the timeline. So once again, we face problems that flummox us. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make a new project, and I'm gonna call this QGIS Lecture Take 3. And let's see if these are main problems because I was doing this yesterday, and now let's try it. So we're in the edit window. See Fusion here, edit here, cut here, media here. And I'm going to be in the edit window, which you could also access from workspace, switch to page, go to edit. So all those workspaces are available from here. I'm in the edit one, which is evidenced by this timeline here. I'm going to add a media in there, and that media is going to be this, change the project frame rate to the media, and drop this in, and there we go. So this time it's working. So if you have that problem, then start a new project. Anyway, here's my video, and you can see the camera in the room took what I was showing the students on the screen, and then it had a teeny little camera thing of the recording of what's going on in front of the green screen that I set up. So somewhere at about 1:50 roughly,
That's the marvelous thing about editing, that being keenly aware of different.
So somewhere here, we fixed it.
We don't have to start from the top.
Yes.
Top.
Okay.
Start from the top because it's there. Now we can. All right, take 4.
Take 4. All right, there's take 4. So take 4, I'm going to drop in a marker, if I can. There's a marker. And I'll put in it, I don't even have to name it, I'm just going to leave it like that. And then take my knife, my razor blade, and come here and cut that first hour and 55 minutes of the lecture out. And it snaps back to the beginning of the track, and there I have it.
When we began this journey, we suggested that one of the best ways.
All right, great. The next thing that I'm going to do is, first thing I'm going to save. It's always save. So now that I've saved it, I'm going to take these tracks and I'm going to right click and I'm going to say unlink. I just unclick on link, and that way I can lift this track up, but I don't want it to go out of sync. So oops. So make sure that they're in sync. Oops, I didn't want to do that. I need to go back and redo and redo and redo. It's not letting me redo, and that's something. Then we'll drag it out. So drag it in, okay? Go to the place in the lecture where you want to come in, which is about 1:59. And that's just, I'm going to look at the exact. Okay. So that's where we are in the thing, and I'm going to add a marker there. So
because it's there. Now we can. All right, take 4.
Take 4. Okay. So take 4 is actually there. And now, as I did, I'm going to cut this. And then I'm going to erase the lecture prior. It snaps back. I may be holding Shift key down. In some programs, it's holding Shift key to make it so it doesn't move. Let's see. We're going to unlink the clips. And we're going to move this one up. Yeah. All right. So we're good. And now that we have those separated, I have a track underneath to put my visuals that I want to put in the background.
When we began this journey, we suggested that.
And save this. And what I want to do is I want to get rid of the green, and I want to get rid of the person and anything that's external to it, like that wall. And so what I do is I go over here to transform or crop. And the first thing I'll do is I'll crop. So I'll come up here and I'll crop to right there. Then I will leave crop and I will go to transform and I will move it where I want to. I'll size it to make it bigger. And that way I will be able to drop behind me a bunch of media. So if I import bin, will that work? Let me see if I can import bin. I have a bin here called JS Lecture Photos, and I don't know if it'll work as a bin because there's no actual bin. Okay, so it's not bin that I want. I will then just do import media and then find the photos, and I guess I'll select all of these. But I thought that maybe I could take the folder and put it in, and apparently not. So okay, select all of them, bring them in, and they all come in as a collection. All right, now the first image that I want is from my blog. So let me go to my blog here and go to blogger.com, and there is my blog. And actually, I can go to the preview of the blog to see it. And then the first image that I want to put behind is using Quantum GIS to be a Nexus thinker. So I'll go back to Davinci now, and I'll find the using Quantum, if I can. I think it's here. And I'll drag that. Oops, I don't want to drag all of them. Sorry about that. Drag this one in and put it behind. And then I need to make it bigger. So I'm going to use this tool here to zoom in so that I can get my grab handles. And let's see. So then I'm going to click on this track, which is this. And I'm in the transform tool anyway. And so I can stretch it out to be behind me. All right, and the nice thing to do then is why don't we lock this track temporarily so we don't move this by mistake when we're working on this track. Now that we have this track, we'll lock that and then reopen this track so we can do manipulations. So we do have now, when we click on this, the ability to move this around and decide how much of this we want. Now, there's a couple of ways you could get rid of the green screen. One of them is to come over here and go down to OpenFX Overlay. And then from OpenFX Overlay, you could take the 3D keyer. You can look for it in here, because usually you'll get this big list of Fusion FX possibilities. So it is a key, and it's a 3D keyer. And if you drop the 3D keyer on, it'll show up here in Effects. And only when this is set to FX over here will you be able to use the picker and then pick the green. That's one way to do it, and you do have that ability to keep cropping and stuff, but it's not the best. Also know, very important, that if you're in Fusion Overlay and you try to do stuff, you get nothing. It's just impossible. Even if I trash this 3D keyer and I bring it back in onto the track, and then I try to use my color picker, nothing happens, and it'll frustrate you all day long until you go over here and put it in OpenFX Overlay. Only then will you be able to click and get rid of that. And then you can add stuff, and you could add that wall, and you could keep hitting the add. That's a nice feature. You could hit the eyedropper, and you can get that in there. You could take this woman's shirt and hope that that would work, but it's ultimately going to then key out all those colors in there. So that you don't want to do. So there's some limitations. And because I've got an uneven area, I can't use cropping very well. So I've found that while 3D keyer is super cool and it does enable you to go to key adjustments and and do adjustments like that and create softness. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff that you can do with it. I have no lack of love for it, but for my purposes in something like this, it is not the appropriate tool. So I'm going to trash it and not use that. What I'm going to do instead is go to color down here or up here in workspace, where it says color. You can use that, Shift F6, or just go down here. And in color, we have a different set of tools. So I do have an eyedropper here, and I can dry drop out that color, and I want to make sure that I'm using this properly. It looks like it did pick the right color. Like here is like the ranges of colors when you're using the eyedropper tool. And so now I've picked a color of green, and then I usually would go to find the inverse of this, which is found in, let me find my inverse. So I'm not finding my inverse. Give me a second here. I think it's this. And for some reason it's not working, so let me pause. Okay, I figured out what was wrong. Here in the color window, you have to have an output node to be able to do anything. So what I want to do then is right click here and go to add alpha output, and then connect this node to the alpha output, and then you can see that color that I picked, but it's inverted. And then I can come over to my color picker and then go invert, and boom, now it is allowing us to see what's around this. And then you'd say, okay, but I don't want this woman in there. I can obviously go in here and I can change the pre-filter, and I can do a lot of different manipulations. I come and get that green, or come in and get that, and I can add to it. So any kind of greens that are there. Let me do this again there, and start adding other type of greens in there the same way we did with the 3D color picker. We have that capability there, and we can add saturation. So it's really nice that you can find that range of colors that you want to remove there. But now we have this issue of the person and the wall. So here's what's cool about colors, that we've used the color picker now, and that's done, but we can also create a mask. So if I go to the pen tool here and I say, all right, let's draw around this woman, and then come up here, and then come over here, and then we really want to use as much as we can of this green screen. So you can get as detailed as you want with that, and you can zoom in on it. But I'm coming down to here, and then I can move this and stretch this and add these points. So that is rather cool, because I can do a more flexible mask. So there we have that. And now if I save project, and when I go back to edit, there I am. And there's a bit of inconsistency down there. You can always go back to color and go to your mask and really try to zoom in on it and redefine. You can add points or delete points. I think control, alt, no, shift, no. Looks like it wants to either delete points or doesn't let me add. Maybe let me add. Let me add. Right. So I can come down to here and add a. I want to add a point. Add a curve. Funny that I don't have the ability to just jump in. Maybe I'm hitting some wrong keys here for that. I would love to be able to add a. No, it just adds a point. Oh, it looks like it would take it away, but it literally adds a point with a little Bezier, which gives you a curve ability in there. So with that, let's come in here and let's add another point there. Is that another point? So there's another point there. All right, so all only issue is now getting a point in here, and as I say, I'm not getting points added for some reason. Sometimes it looks like you can add a point, and sometimes it looks like you can't add a point. Maybe when it's red, I guess it's when it's red that you can add a point. So I'm still trying to figure out the nuances of how to get these darn sections to turn red, and I'm not altogether sure. Like there, it just turned red, and then it stopped turning red. There, it turned red, and I added another point. So yeah, maybe I can just work with it like that. It's weird, like where you add the points, because I'd love to get up into here and then add a point. Ah, it did turn red there. Okay, so it's sort of like just a little difficult at times. And let's go around the foot. All right. That's probably good enough for government work, as they say. Save project. Let's go back to edit. All right, so apart from the top of the screen here, which that can be dealt with in a crop. So let's go back to crop and let's crop out. Oh, interesting. So it's actually our mask is behind that. So I'm going to have to go back to color and go back to our mask and try to raise these points or lower these points. There we go. All right. And go back to edit. All right, so good. So we have this decent, this ability to move this guy around as we like, so that's cool. And that's all using the color. There is a much more sophisticated way to do this using Fusion, but we don't have the paid version, because what you would do is you would go into Fusion and go Control and Spacebar and then take Magic Mask, and you drop that Magic Mask into here, and it says you've reached a limitation with Davinci Resolve. If you want to do that, you have to pay $299 and you get the professional version. That's a really good bargain if you have the money. I don't right now, but what that would let us do is just draw a line around this, and the AI would figure out where I stood, and then it would make an alpha channel and cut out everything around me. So if that's what you're into, look at using the Magic Mask. It is spectacular. It takes the work out of it so much, but I don't have that kind of money, so I'm using color, and color is working for me evidently. All right, so with that, I can now start illustrating.
When we began this journey,
and let's see, I want to have him fade in, so I haven't used a fade yet. There's a video transition toolbox, and does it let me find video transitions? Where are my video transitions? Why did none of them show up? Because I have key here. So let's do a fade. That doesn't come in either. How about dissolve? There it is, additive dissolve. And if we do a cross dissolve, which is the favorited one, and drop that onto the track, then we should see a dissolve there, and I need to make that dissolve larger so that it goes.
When we began this journey,
and that's too much. So let's bring that dissolve to here.
When we began this journey,
still too little. Let's go back here and let it come in.
When we began this journey, we suggested that one of the best ways to learn and practice nature.
Right, that's nice. Now we have the audio. I like to edit to music. It makes me happy. So I'm going to go into my YouTube channel, and I'm going to go into YouTube Studio. Once I get to my YouTube channel, I'm going to go to audio library down here, and I will try to preview some music that I want to use. So let's see, the sound effect, the music filter that I would like is I want to be in mood, and I want it to be inspirational, romantic, and maybe dramatic. Let's see about those. And then under the sun, let's see. Not my vibe. to be good, except for the singing. We don't want that. Cinematic. Let's see. Doc and Wyatt. Nope. Miss you. For my purposes. This one, Ride, dramatic. Like it, so I'm going to download it. I don't mind that. Life on Hold, Pop. No. What about Temple of Treasures? No, nothing new. Oh, I kind of like that. The Middle Eastern thing. I do want that for my Morocco project. That's going to be good. Is it appropriate for this? I don't know yet. Yeah. I'm going to use this one because Videodrome captures the sort of futuristic technological thing that I want to do here. And you can always change these things. So now in Audio 1, I'm going to go to File and Import Media. And somewhere in my Downloads folder, we have this stuff. I'm going to move it to another folder. So let me come over here and see where it's coming in. It is going to be, it's not done yet. It's coming in Downloads. So let's wait till it's done, and let's take these. Let's take these and let's drop them into GIS Photos. And then when we open GIS Photos, we can take those audio files and bring them into this photo folder and make a new folder and call it audio. And then drop these into the audio folder just to make things a little more organized. So and there should be one more in here. There's the other third one. There it is. Okay. So actually cut it and paste it in the folder. That's quicker. Okay, paste it in. And then we're going to take Videodrome, and that's the one that we're going to drop into the track. So in here, when I come to here, I can now open the audio and take Videodrome, and that should appear here somewhere. There it is. And then drop that in, and let's see how that sounds.
We began this journey. We suggested that one of the best ways.
Very loud though, so let me drop the volume down. Oops. Try that.
When we began this journey, we suggested that one of the best ways to learn and practice inhabit Nexus thinking is to experience Blender 3D. In my lecture, Do You Speak 5D? I showed that being keenly aware of different perspectives in X, Y, and Z space, and then zooming into local object details to the level of atoms and strings, flying out and above the underlying geometry beyond a bird's eye view to infinity and beyond, moving forward and backward in the dimension of time and exploring data layers, textures, color.
Okay, so now we're on a roll, and let's save. And then let's look at what we have in the lecture, because I always set things up as a lecture. So after the first thing to experience Blender is the next image that we need to bring in, and I will go back to here and I will find that. I wish I'd labeled these things better, but I didn't take that time. You should label each picture. There it is there as the picture. No, that's not it. That's the whole video. So where's the picture? Where's my Blender picture? Maybe that I can use a Control F and see. No, I didn't want to do that. Okay, that was not good. Where the heck is my picture then? It should be, unless I never brought it into the folder, which is completely possible, that picture was not one generated by ChatGPT, so I need to grab it. And so often what you can do is, if you go to view your post, so let me go to view it, then you can click on your pictures and they will become large. I think our internet is really slow. Right, there it is. So I have a slideshow now, and it's going to be probably faster once this thing comes up. Why is my computer so slow? All right, well, I can't account for why the computer is being so slow at working on this, because it's obviously there, and normally it would just come straight up. There it is, it came up. So slow computer. Anyway, what I was going to say is it's sometimes faster to just go and grab a screenshot of what you need and use screenshot and then save as, and let's pick that folder there, and I'll call this Blender, and then I can add it. So depending on your workflow, I obviously didn't have it in here. Maybe I need to refresh, I'm not sure. Also, the way to arrange these, it should be, there should be a way to arrange these collections. Maybe it's with this search and then say Blender. It's not showing up. But it looks like it normally does it in alphabetical order. So maybe the problem is I brought all these in, but I didn't bring the whole folder in. So yeah, I'm going to have to add that one in here. I'm going to have to go to import again and import media, and then find the Blender one, which is here. All right, now drop that Blender one in here and ask yourself, why didn't it show up? What's with that? Maybe I need to lock this track. We can now lock the audios for now, which is smart to do. And let me now try to bring this in, and for some reason it's not showing up. So why are we having such difficulties? If I drag over here and I click on it and I drag it here, it's still not showing up. Or maybe it's just too small. Sometimes that happens. You need to really see, like, where did you have this? But no, it's not coming in. That is highly bizarre. Let's see if any other image will come in. So if I drag in this one, nothing's coming in. All right, got to figure out. Oh, because it is locked. But that's the reason. Duh. So I can be really stupid sometimes. I hope that inspires you to not feel so bad when you're really stupid. So there we go. It was locked. All right. So that is now open for us. Let's see it now.
Is a node, center of the nexus. That experience inevitably.
So let's see. And for weird reasons, this thing is not 0. So let me unlock and unlock and unlock. Let me drag everything together over to the beginning again, and then lock, lock. Leave this track open. Let's see.
When we began this journey, we suggested that one of the best ways to learn and practice, nay, inhabit nexus thinking, was to experience Blender.
All right, was to experience
Blender.
There it is.
Inhabit nexus
Was to
thinking, was to experience Blender.
Okay, so there's Blender, and then we can cut this at that point and take that out, and then put our Blender in. There we go.
Experience Blender 3D.
And that should be a transition. So let's put a cross dissolve here between them.
To experience Blender 3D. In my lecture,
And that makes me wonder that if this guy shouldn't the whole time be over more to the left. And I can always move him, but that sort of seems like he'd be
learn and
better off.
practice, nay, inhabit Nexus
there.
thinking is to experience Blender 3D.
I like that
In my
better.
lecture, do you speak 5D?
And in my lecture, do you speak 5D? I guess I could illustrate that by going to my lecture. And so if I go to, do you speak 5D Culhane, then I get these lectures. And there's one here.
Designed Beatles cartoon, Yellow Submarine.
And I guess probably better to have an image behind it. Oops, lost it.
Food. Right here in our own 3 dimensions.
Yeah, I think that's a cool one to have. So let me capture this. It's YouTube View Nexus module, and it shows the lectures. I kind of like that. Okay. So we'll do that. And drop that in here. And now let's go back to... All right, so from now on, you're not going to learn that many tips. The beginning of the video teaches you all the stuff about doing the masking. I'm going to just keep taping myself as I encourage you as students to do, so that you can make your own videos. So let's see, we are in...
I showed that the best ways to learn and practice, nay, inhabit Nexus thinking is to experience Blender 3D. In my lecture, do you speak 5?
You speak, and when his hand comes up,
speak 5.
Right there, I can cut this out. Get rid of this and this, and bring in the new one. Import media, and then do you speak 5D there. And somewhere that shows up, there it is as it comes in, so we can easily grab it and then have it dissolve again. Cross dissolve.
Speak 5D. I showed that being keenly aware of different perspectives in X
and then X and Y and Z. Let's go back to the lecture and see if there's X and Y and Z somewhere in the lecture. And where is it? Is there a good illustration in here to use? So while I'm looking through, I'm just going to put this on pause. All right, I decided I'd go into Blender and create an XYZ kind of look here and then take a screenshot of that and put it in. So let's add to the media, import, and get that there. And see where it came in. It came in here. It comes in alphabetically. So
X and Y and Z space.
Yep, and let's put it in
perspectives in X.
In X.
Different perspectives in X.
Put there.
Perspectives in X and Y.
And you see the audio here. The best thing is to put a marker on the audio. It'll let me, and then go back to in front of the audio. That'll give us a nicer cut if we're going to use
perspectives in X and Y and Z space, and then zooming into local object detail. Zooming into
Right, so for the zooming, I don't want to do a video. It'd be nice to do a zoom. I don't have to do that, but I can get rid of this one here Oops, I didn't want to do that. I want to, hey. No, I keep opening up windows is not what I want to do. That feels stupid. I want to get to the, there we go. I'll bring this, not that. Blender is hard to get these windows to go away. I always end up moving them and creating new ones by mistake, when what we want to do is have it just turn that window into another window. And when that happens, I get really flummoxed because it's so kludgy to, I just opened up another window. I'm making infinite windows now. I wanted to do that. And then you make one window out of it, and then you have to click on it again. And I did it again. I opened another window. So I get really flummoxed with making these windows endlessly open up. It's supposed to be that you can just get into that little crosshair and then move up and decide what you want to collapse in those. Like that collapsed that, and that collapses that, and this window collapses. This window collapses that, and then this one collapses that, and then this window collapses that, and then finally this window, I opened it up another one I didn't want to. This window, I just opened up another one. Oh, so it's so insane. So, look at how many windows I'm creating. What a mess. That collapses that, and this collapses that, and then this one collapses nothing. It's enough to make you just go mad. This one collapses. Gotta get it to be a little crosshair again. I just created another one. So I get really teed off about that, and so I just go, all right, let's just open the same thing and not save the changes. And then get back to just one thing. But this is the zoom in that I want to do to the details. And actually that car is in the wrong place. So I'll zoom in the details here. Yeah, I'll do that. Just do that and then save this as details. Come back to here. Add that. And find details there. Shows up alphabetically and grab that.
To local object. Zooming into local object detail.
So there we can do a additive dissolve maybe.
And then zooming into local object details to the base. And then zooming into local object details to the level of atoms. And atoms.
If we want to do atoms, we can do atoms. And yeah, I'll just look for atoms. Thing is, you can't spend too long on some of these lectures. VR looking at, I don't want that, I want here, VR looking at atoms. And so we'll just illustrate it this way. So there's that one there, there's this one here. Eye tracking the Rupa. It's a possibility. AI generated, huh? Yeah, it's an AI generated thing. I guess we'll use that. It's got all sorts of copyrights on it. Free pick. It's good to advertise. I don't mind. I think it's kind of cool. I'll grab that. And come back in, and
details to the level of atoms and
let's do the same thing, put an additive dissolve there as well.
to local object details to the level of atoms and strings, flying out and above the under. Above and fly out and above the underlying
flying out and above. I have a video where I do that, so I'm going to go find that video, and it is in YouTube, and it would be under Davinci Resolve, searching across my channel. I'll go to my channel, and I will go to laboratory, Sustainable Design Laboratory. All right.
Alrighty, let's.
I have one where I'm flying, so let me find that one. It's this one here, and I'll find where I'm flying.
Lighting and noise whenever we want to shoot a local on-campus video, but find the external.
And of course, here I have the possibility, because this is my video, if I go to 4K Downloader and open that up, it should open, and then I can paste the link and remind me later. Close. Let's see if it'll let me do it. So far, I see nothing. So I guess I need to paste the link, and it says click the paste link within the app. All right, paste link. There we go. Copy a link to a video you want to download. I thought I did that already. Let me make sure I did that. So grab the link, copy it, go to 4K, and then paste the link, and then download the video. And now it's going to download that, so we'll hit pause while it downloads. All right, so we're downloading it, finally. And I really recommend you all get 4K Video Downloader. I'm using the unactivated free version, which gives me about 10 daily downloads. I don't need more than that. I'm not professional at this. And then when you have that, you can download YouTube content. This one here, the folder that it's downloaded to is there. 4K Video Downloader. So I'm going to keep it in that folder where I keep the other ones that I've downloaded. And then I'll go back into here and bring that into my media bin. So import media, and I need to go to 4K Video Downloader, wherever that is. I think it's on, I could actually look and see where did I put that. So let's show in folder, and it is data D videos. So let's go to data D and go to videos, and then open up our 4K, and then there's the one that we just put in. Because rather than having a static image, it would be really cool to have a piece of video in there. Now, I'm going to have to cut that video up, find the right spot somewhere in here, and that would mean shrinking this way down and finding where in the video I fly. There I am. All right, so flying. Maybe that was kind of cool. Okay, so we do know that we can get rid of all of this prior. And that snaps back, and then decide as we zoom out how much we're going to use of this. It just takes time to update. Maybe that's because I have this track enabled, and if I disable this track, it'll be faster. And by the way, I don't need the audio track here, so I'm going to unlink these clips and get rid of just the audio. And that'll save also on memory. And then let's... Now I don't understand what just happened here. I got rid of the audio and it's gone crazy. That's weird, so let me Control Z out of that. How did I end up getting rid of everything? I shouldn't have. Oops. Oh, I see what it did. So it's acting like they're still linked for some reason. Okay, I moved it. Now they're no longer linked. Okay, so I want to get into the point where I have that's kind of cool because it shows two things. So let me cut it here. And then move it over.
Strings, flying out and above the underlying geometry beyond the bird's eye view to infinity and beyond, moving forward and back.
So that was kind of cool, although I think if I get to infinity and beyond, it'd be nice if I trim this just a little bit so that the arm is going forward.
Flying out and above the underlying geometry beyond the bird's eye view to infinity and beyond, moving forward and backward in the dimension of time and exploring data.
So let's turn this back on.
Flying out and above the underlying geometry beyond the bird's eye view to infinity and beyond.
Something's wrong with this mask, obviously. Let me go back into color. Yeah, that there's got to be pulled down a bit. So let's see what happens now. Back to edit. Okay, that's gone. So let's put in a dissolve. Let's do a blur dissolve here between these.
Flying out and above the underlying geometry beyond the bird's eye view to infinity and beyond, moving forward and backward in the dimension of time and exploring data layers. And above the underlying geometry beyond the bird's eye view to infinity and beyond, moving.
What do we have if we look at that, the infinity and beyond? Can our mask be animated with that? So when I go to color and I look at the mask, I don't even think my arm, when it goes up, yeah. So
even shot dead or hanged.
Probably, even if I go like that and I come back into the edit,
that experience, moving forward and backward in the dimension of time and exploring.
So I don't have these, even when I go to my crop. I don't have anything that I can crop out of there, so it doesn't do me any good to bring this part of the mask up. It's just my arm's going to go out of frame because it goes out of the green screen. So be that as it may.
Exploring data layers, textures, colors, flavors of difference, if you like.
Kind of like leaving the bull in.
And beyond, moving forward and backward in the dimension of time and exploring data layers, textures, colors, flavors of difference, if you like, qualia.
So I do have, so moving forward and backward,
in the dimension of time and exploring data layers.
Data layers is where we want to cut this. And then we go back to our, blog and see what we had there. So for data layers and qualia, we had this. And so let's go for that image there. That is the one with the flying person, because the flying person becomes the flying person. So let's go into and find that image, which is, I guess, this one here, and drag that in.
I'm exploring data layers, text.
There we go. And let's click on that and go to our transform tool. Bring that out there.
And exploring data layers, textures, color.
I think that should be a dissolve. Probably do the same out as we did in. We did a blur dissolve in. We'll do blur
And
dissolve
backward in the dimension of time and exploring data layers, textures, colors, flavors of difference, if you like, qualia. That experience in.
And then because that's an important
There's
word,
a difference, if you like, qualia.
let's go ahead and put in a word, qualia. And I've never done that in this, so I'm always learning as I go. But to put in words, to write the words, which I know how to do so well in Adobe Premiere and in Camtasia, so I have to relearn it here. Here's a toolbox, there's titles, there's a basic title. I guess, do we put it on top of this? Or does it go up in its own track? I guess it goes up in its own track. That's to be expected. And then we can come in here and move it. Oops, that's not it. Because we're still on that track. So I need to lock that track. And now come to this track and move this. That didn't do anything. So is it this one here? Ah, there it is. All right, let's put qualia down here. Can you edit it here? No, you edit it over here. And then put in qualia. And let's use the font of something kind of bigger. So let's go for something. It's nice that as you flip through, you can see it. Qualia like that is interesting. That's kind of nice. Let's bring this color to orange, maybe. No, orange is not so cool. Maybe we give it a nice sky blue, and then we have to make it bigger. And then we need to font face be bold, and then we're hoping that there's a stroke around it in black. We could do that. There's probably also a drop shadow, which is good to have. And then offset this drop shadow like that. That's nice. All right. So let's see what that looks like.
Textures, colors, flavors of difference, if you like, qualia.
All right. And let's dissolve into that. So let's go to our video transitions and do a cross dissolve from nothing to it.
Qualia. That.
Okay, it comes in a little late.
If you like, qualia. That experience inevitably makes you hyper aware of the nexus.
Okay. And then it says hyper aware of nexus.
Nexus.
Right, so we'll do a dissolve out of that. We also have to make sure that this is covering that.
You like qualia. That experience inevitably makes you hyper aware of the nexus. Every spot you inhabit. Aware of the nexus. Every spot you inhabit.
Inhabit is a good place to come out. It's a hard sort of stop. So every spot you inhabit, and what is he going on to say? He is saying every spot you inhabit. So there isn't another focus on as a node, the center of the nexus. All right. I could live with just keeping it as is. So, whoops, that shouldn't have happened. I could live with that.
And expanding universe, whether real or simulated. Forward and backward in the dimension of time and exploring data layers, textures, colors, flavors of difference, if you like.
Looks like we lost our dissolve. Our blur dissolve came out for some reason. Wow, why does this thing keep happening? What are you doing?
Qualia. That experience inevitably makes you hyper-aware of the nexus. Every spot you inhabit or focus on is a node, the center of the nexus, literally the center of the infinite and expanding universe, whether real or simulated. And that is powerful stuff. You.
Okay. So something weird is happening here. It's like I don't want that to happen. Like, why is it constantly moving? So I'm gonna lock that, and let's see if that solves any problem. No, we're like kind of stuck here. I've never seen that. Maybe it's having trouble because I can't get back to the. I can't move my cursor. Oh, there it is. It's weird. Sometimes this does get weird.
You are the center of the universe. You're not. Blender teaches.
You're the center of the universe, and you're not. So what am I going to do for that? I'm going to look for center of the universe picture. I'll just use I'll use a VR center of the universe viewing, something like that. See what that comes up with. That's cool, galactic center. I don't mind that at all. That's a video, I suppose. So maybe, or I like that one too. So I think what I'll do is I'll go from this one here, and I'll grab that picture. In fact, I think I'll just be really explicit about it. I will go for a tour of the Galactic Center as a video. Save as Galactic Center. And then I will take this one here and I'll grab that. And save that. VR Center. Alright, so now I have center somewhere here. There's Boris Vienna. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Center. Where did it go? There it is. Center is one of them. And I also had to bring in input media, and I called it, I don't remember what I called it. So when that happens, you should always just sort by details and do your date, and then it'll be available to you much more easily. Alright, so VR Center, and it's doing that thing again that I hate. VR Center comes after Center, which is up here. It was here. I know that that's going to come in here in a minute, so I can unlock this and bring that in. But I want the other one that I brought in. There it is, Galactic Center. So, let's see.
You are the center of the universe. You're not. You are the center. Stuff. You are the center.
Let's make this a bit bigger.
You are the center of the universe. You're not.
And you're not. Okay, so that's also a crossfade won't go in. So it's not letting me put a crossfade. Why is that? What's going on here? Crossfade. Oh, because I'm in audio, and I need to be in cross dissolve, not crossfade. Okay, so
You are the center of the universe. You're not. Blender teaches the Flatlander.
And I like to put here, you are the center of the universe and you're not, in text, because I think that'll really sell the point. So once again, I'm going to go to titles, and I'm going to put in I don't need a lower third. I'm just really looking at text, basic text. I could do text plus and drop that in. And again, it would have to go over here.
Is powerful stuff. You
Over you.
You are the.
So let's do that. Let's put this into a yellow. Let's make our size a little bit smaller. Let's move it down. Actually, he's looking up there. Let's put it up. Yeah. Okay.
You are the center. You are the.
So either got to make that match exactly the cut, or it's faster and easier to just put in a cross dissolve here.
You are the center of the universe.
And here, I'll keep this going, but I'm going to drop in another track above it. So make an add track, and then put in a duplicate of this, Control C, and then Control V, and it didn't put it in, so yikes. All right, why? Maybe if I lock this and everything else is, I think there's a video 2 here, video 3. What is that? Video 2. So I'm way up in video 4. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna drop this in here and go.
You are the center of the universe. You're not.
And you're not. So if I do this one here, then considering where this is going, I would have to move this down. Another thing I could do, I guess I could leave it. So down is fine, but I'm going to have to put in a text layout, shading, opacity. Not that. Not that. Where's my... So I don't necessarily like this as well as the other because it's not making it easy to put the drop shadow on. So I think I'm going to take these out. I'll get rid of that, and I'm going to go back to the regular text because it's faster for me.
And expanding universe, whether real or simulated.
Something happened here. It actually dropped out what we had. Damn it. Alright, Galactic Center is here. And
The center of the infinite and expanding universe, whether real or simulated, is powerful stuff. You.
okay, that's where U was. This should have been out to here, so.
Is powerful stuff. You.
And that's where it should have turned to U. So.
Stuff. You.
Okay. So bring it to there, bring this to here. Make sure that this is expanded out. And then you
are the center of the universe. You're not.
And you're not. So.
You're not.
lock that. Let's save this. And then
Stuff. You are the center.
bring this out to here. Let's make this, you are the center of the universe. And then let's make the size a little bit smaller. Okay. So this is all just me very painstakingly going through and placing stuff in. So I'm going to end this video here or come back to it later on when I've got more progress. All right, what I'm going to do here with this is I have my dissolve, but I'm going to set a keyframe of this where it comes up to this size, a little bit smaller, and it's here. You are the center of the universe, and that'll be the keyframe. If it'll let me set a keyframe, will it let me set a size keyframe? Ooh, that was bad. So usually, yeah, you can set a keyframe right there, and when I go back to the beginning of this, I can put this and set it to almost nothing, and then make a keyframe so that as we play through it,
are the center of the universe.
oh, that didn't work. So there should have been a keyframe there, and then there should have been a keyframe that it grows to, which is like there or a little higher, and then that's supposed to record the keyframe. Will it work? Maybe not.
You are the center of the universe. You're not.
And you're not. So what I do, I'm going to put another text box in here, but put it above this. This comes last, I think. This should say, and you're not. I think there should be a way to right-click on this and get the properties, maybe. Or maybe not. So if you go copy, and then you paste, do we paste attributes? Yes. So apply them, and it didn't do a darn thing. Why? What was I not copying? Okay, well, it didn't do it. I thought it would. I'm sure that you're capable of it at some point, but I've not yet learned how in this program, and I'm basing it on other programs I've used. So let's move it down. And then once again, let's go to the stroke. And let's make it have a drop shadow. Let's play. And maybe we need to make this size a different font. Yeah, Rubik. I think we'll use that for this one as well. And this one here should be a little smaller. And the color should be a little lighter. Okay. So
You are the center.
that, even though the U comes in nice and clippy, I think a dissolve is going to work better because it's a little disorienting. So let's unclick this. Put the dissolve here.
You are the center of the universe. You're not.
And then the and you're not is going to be tied to that here. And we want to put in a cross dissolve here as well.
Universe. You're not. Blender.
And that means we also should put a cross dissolve here.
Stuff. You are the center of the universe. You're not. Blender teaches the Flatlander to accept. Blender teaches the center of the universe. You're not.
Here, that's coming in a little too late.
You're not. Blender teaches the Flatlander to accept. Flatlander.
Under Flatlander. And we can put a dissolve of that out. Okay, and then we have in here Flatland somewhere. We didn't bring those in, right, because those are from our blog. Right, it's a lot of stuff to put in. I hope that gives you some idea of the editing process, and if you as a student are doing this, you can record your entire session so that you can get your 2 points per hour class credit for your time investment. There's no point in me, unless I'm doing new procedures, jumping through every little hoop and showing you, because it's all now repetitive. It's adding all those images. So that's how it works. Ciao for now.